Israel has captured the strategic Beaufort Castle in southern Lebanon, marking its deepest military incursion into the country in more than 26 years and signaling a major escalation in its conflict with the Hezbollah. A 900-year-old Crusader-era fortress located near the city of Nabatiyeh sits atop a ridge overlooking large parts of southern Lebanon and northern Israel. Israeli and Golani Brigade flags were seen flying over the Beaufort Castle as smoke billowed across southern Lebanon following the Israeli strikes. The Israeli military says the operation was aimed at seizing control of the Beaufort Ridge and the Wadi al-Saluki area, dismantling Hezbollah infrastructure and preventing attacks on Israeli civilians. Israeli officials say hundreds of rockets and projectiles had been launched from the area in the recent months. The advance comes despite a ceasefire that has been in place since the month of April and just days before fresh talks between Israel and Lebanon are scheduled in Washington. Israeli troops have crossed beyond the Litani River, expanded operations near Nabatiyeh, and declared a wider combat zone across parts of southern Lebanon. The capture follows one of the heaviest days of Hezbollah attacks on northern Israel since the ceasefire began. Hezbollah claims it has continued targeting Israeli troops and military vehicles, while the Israeli military says one soldier was killed during the latest operations. The Beaufort fortress has long held military significance. Israel previously captured and occupied the site during the 1982 Lebanon War and maintained a presence there until withdrawing from southern Lebanon in the year 2000. We have Major General Rajan Kochar, defense and geopolitical expert, now joining us. We have Adit Kothari, foreign affairs and geopolitical expert, now joining us live from London. Adit and Major General Rajan Kochar, thank you so much for taking time out to be this. Major General Rajan Kochar, let's just talk from pure military strategy perspective. It's at an elevation, it's on top of a hill, and hence it is Israel that is claiming that that was the vantage point that was used by Hezbollah to kill innocent Israeli civilians, and hence they had no other choice but to go up there and capture it, and that means the biggest incursion in over 2.5 decades.
Thank you, Krishna. So whenever we go in for a military offensive, we always look at a ground of tactical importance, and we call it GTI. So this feature, as we are seeing on your screen, is a ground of tactical importance. And I'll just take you back to the Israel offensive in Syria also. If you remember, when they were expanding the Golan Heights area, they went on and captured Mount Heron. And Heron was dominating right inside Lebanon also, and also towards Damascus. It's about 30-40 kilometers away only. So they can put their artillery there. They have got a range also, elevation also increases the range. The trajectory also becomes better for the weapon system. So what the Israeli commanders or the IDF is saying is absolutely correct, because once you take a height in the mountains, we have actually seen in LAC operation also, Mount Kailash, if you remember the operation the Indian Army Special Forces undertook, and they captured Kailash before the Chinese could do it. And after that, Chinese were, worried. After that, of course, the de-escalation started. So coming back to Lebanon, it's a very, very important feature. Not only it will give you observation beyond the Litani River, it stretches into North Lebanon, and it also enables you to target whatever Hezbollah missile launch pads are at a lower elevation. So I think from totally a military tactical point of view, because this is not a strategic move, it's more of a tactical move. From a tactical point of view, definitely it's a great advantage, and it was not easy to capture. I am given to understand that this operation took a couple of days before the Israelis could move on to the top, because it's extremely important. I'll just give you another example of Kargil and the way these Pakistanis uh, uh, came in and sat on those heights and were interdicting the national highway and the move of logistics. Similarly, capturing of this feature is going to give a great advantage to Israel and also give them a momentum in their ground campaign in Lebanon. And maybe now they are eyeing, because I heard reports a few days back that Israel wants to capture or retain almost 20% of Lebanon and create it as a buffer zone. So I think now, after the capture of this feature, I think it will embolden the IDF to even go further than 20% of the territory.
With Kothari, the strangest part is that the biggest incursion in 26 years comes smack in the middle of a ceasefire, and on the threshold of the second round of on the next round of talks to possibly extend that ceasefire.
To be very honest, Krishna, I think we all know that Israel has a motive to sabotage this particular peace deal because it is not in favor of a peace deal which leaves Iran as a strategically emboldened power in the Middle East, and which is what this peace deal is eventually going to be doing, because you're eventually going back to the JCPOA. It's similar sort of nuclear agreements where Iran is basically reasserting itself to harness nuclear energy for its domestic purposes. But at the end of it all, it leaves Iran as a legitimate power in the Middle East, where it will continue to be an irritant for other Middle Eastern states and also Israel, where it will continue to go on to empower Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, which is not something that Israel is comfortable with. And as a consequence, which is why Israel has moved in such a decisive manner as they have. Remember, in the 2000s, there was something called the UN Resolution 1701. Now, 1701 basically stated that all the armed groups in Lebanon, including Hezbollah, would not have any permission to be armed beyond or south of the Litany River. Now, obviously, because of the kind of inability of the Lebanese state and its authority to assert itself on Hezbollah, they were unable to get them to address this particular UN resolution. And as a consequence, Hezbollah was continued to armed both internally and externally by Iran, and they continue to be an irritant for Israel, where they were attacking Israel, the border villages of Israel, which is why they want to basically ensure that this 20 kilometers up to the Litany River is basically held as a buffer zone, where, as Major General Kocher also pointed out, that not only that this give them the ability to be at a certain height and create a deterrent from both an observation and a prevention mechanism, where short range missiles coming across from the other side or anti-tank missiles coming out from the other side can be easily fended off, but also gives the Israelis an opportunity to continue to attack the border areas of the Litany River, where they can destroy the multiple storage facilities, the launch sites, and the observation points of the Hezbollah groups. Thereby, the next step would be to basically assert more on the Lebanese governmental side and create more pressure on them to ensure that Hezbollah can be disarmed, and as a consequence, some sort of sanity can prevail between Lebanon and Israel. Krishna.
Fair enough. Some sense of sanity is what we're looking at. But Major General Rajan Kocher, do you think that sanity will prevail? Quick answer from your end.
Uh, Krishna's sanity and Netanyahu are the two ends of a pole, you know. So don't expect any kind of sanity from Netanyahu. He is now going full throttle. He is not going to come back. Ceasefire or no ceasefire in Iran is no business to him, because this is a different ball game for him, and he's not going to stop at this, because you see, you don't get much opportunities like this in warfare. And when you have an opportunity, when your opposition has been weakened to a great extent, if you remember, Hezbollah in the last 2 years has been weakened a lot. The leadership has practically been eliminated, and capture of those areas in Syria have blocked the logistic routes of Hezbollah from Iran through Syria. So now those replenishments are also not coming. So he is sensing an opportunity like a tiger, sensing his prey now, and he doesn't want to wait now, and he has already struck. And just imagine, he has an infantry division inside, he has an armored division inside, he has two independent brigades inside, and all these air power and missile power. So he is, and also one important point is that all the villages on the Israeli side of the border have been vacated because people had to leave that place and move back because of these missile attacks from Hezbollah. So he wants to resettle his own people back into their towns on the border. So I don't think he's going to stop at this.
Enough. We'll leave it at that. Major General Rajan Kochar and Adit Kothari, thank you so much for taking time out to be this here on News9.